Hi, everybody. I'm Carolyn Caldwell from Caldwell Evolution. I'm a certified professional organizer and productivity coach, and I'd like to welcome you here today. We are continuing the series of videos on how to be more productive working from home. If you are an entrepreneur working from home, or you've recently been moved into a home-based office, or your company is transitioning to more staff working from home, we really hope that these videos will provide you with some tips and strategies to be more comfortable, more productive, and just better off, more successful working from home. And today I'd like to welcome Tamsen Taylor. Welcome, Tamsen.
Hi, thanks, Carolyn.
Thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Tamsen is a colleague and friend of mine. She's been working from home for over 5 years. She originally trained in psychology and has a PhD in cognitive psychology. Now she's working as an emotional educator and community builder, and she teaches community builders to create engagement in both offline and online communities. So thank you, Tamsen, for bringing
You're
your
welcome.
expertise and knowledge and education and experience working from home and working from home with a child and a special needs child.
Yeah, my son is 8 and he's been diagnosed with autism. He has some other medical issues. It makes life unpredictable.
Right. So
For
given
sure.
those situations, let's jump right in here.
Okay.
Is there something else you'd like to say about your bio? That was a pretty short bio.
Oh, nope, we're good.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. So what would be your first tip to help people be more productive working from home?
One of the first things, especially for people who have their own business, but I think this applies for anyone trying to work at home, you have to know yourself. You have to know yourself really well. So just in general, I think you need to know yourself. It's obviously going to look different for everybody, right? So for me, I really need a lot of social contact. That is something I learned really quickly, that just sitting at home, working at home all day did not work for me. So I needed to do things like this, video chats. I needed to get out, go to networking events, have one-on-one coffees with people just to feel okay. So obviously, I'm just saying, obviously some people are more introverted than me, and they're going to have to figure out what they need in terms of social contact, as well as just knowing themselves, right? Sorry, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, so if people have recently transitioned to a home office from a corporate-based office or a company-based office, what do you think might be some of the other strategies that they might use to know themselves and to figure out what they need?
One of the first things people are saying is that they miss the water cooler and the social interactions at work. So just understanding that that is a need almost everyone has. And even people who are, quote, introverts and fine with that, you still need some level of social contact, or what's going to happen is you're going to start feeling lonely and isolated and be scared to start interacting with people again. That's a pattern that often leads to depression, and people don't quite know how to get out of it usually.
Okay.
We get lonely, and then people are scary.
So what I'm hearing is that you're suggesting that people actively, so first of all, understand what you need, and then go actively build that into your routine so that you can ward off that feeling of isolation that sometimes happens from a home-based office or working from home.
Right. And that's going to feed into my tip number 3 coming up too.
Okay, let's go to tip
number 2. A little bit of foreshadowing. Yes, a little bit of foreshadowing there.
Okay, perfect. What's tip number 2?
So my tip number 2 in general is just realize life's uncertain. Just kind of accept that. For me, with my son, I can make all the plans I want, but if he's at home, whether it's a medical issue, whether his autism is making him, or anxiety is making him just react, that he's not going to do what was planned, I really found quite quickly that unless I'm okay with it, I make the situation worse by stressing myself out. And I think we tend to take unpredictability and then do things that make it even worse on ourselves. So for me, it's just, I need flexibility. I just need to accept that. So 2 strategies that I had was like really condensing my workday so that I would take him to school at 8:30. I wouldn't plan anything until 10.
Mhm.
to give myself extra space
Mhm.
in case something went off the rails. I'm also a responsible person. I hate the idea of just standing somebody up. So I'd always make sure I had the contact information. I need a lot of social contact. That was a lot of parts of my day and a lot of what I planned. So I'm like, but please accept my life is unpredictable. How can I get in touch with you at the last minute if I have to cancel, if my son won't go to school, or if he turns out to be sick? Luckily for me, most of the people I interact with are parents, so they get it.
Mhm.
I've never had anybody imply I was unprofessional or anything like that. But it's important to me to be responsible. It's important to me to support my son. So I have to put the things in place for that. So people need to figure out for them how they can best deal with uncertainty.
All right. So accept the uncertainty, be responsible, and be flexible.
Mhm.
Is that pretty well
And the
said?
responsibility and flexibility are what I need.
Yep.
But I think everyone just kind of needs to deal with the fact that life is uncertain and figure out what they need to deal with it.
Okay. And so what was tip number 3 then?
Um, Technology's your friend. Or
Huh?
it can be. It can also be very frustrating. But
Yeah.
I love interactions like this. Like I have a lot of my social needs can be filled with a video chat. So if I'm in a situation where I have to reschedule something or I just can't get out of the house, I can have a video chat with somebody and feel really emotionally connected. And I have a really good friend who I've never met in person, but we video chat more than once a week. And she is one of my best friends. I care about her deeply. She cares about me. So when you can't do the in-person thing, I really think emotional connection can be facilitated by technology. And even for my son, he loves Minecraft. We're a Minecraft family.
Okay.
And he's started playing Minecraft with his uncle who lives in another country. And they build things together or they build something for the other person to look at. And so it's a way of technology can be a really connecting thing. It can be a really disconnecting thing. But if you use it in a way that works for you, it can be a very connecting thing.
All right. So let technology be your friend. Let it be a connecting thing for you.
It can be. I really think so. And we hear all the time about how it's pushing us apart, but I think it can bring us together too.
What are some of the, just out of curiosity, what are some of the technologies? I mean, you mentioned the online Minecraft for your
Mm-hmm.
son. And obviously we're using Zoom here
Yes.
to record this. What are some of the other technologies that you've come across that people might not be aware of?
Well, Facebook is a big one. Obviously, most people are aware of Facebook, but it's so easy to just do a video chat through Facebook. And I've talked to a lot of people who haven't even tried that yet. So I don't know if that's an awareness thing, but just try it out. Give it a chance. The other one to do my own classes and meetings. I have a program called Live Webinar. So that's the one I've been using. And it has so much functionality that I get lost sometimes because it can do so much, but it can do things like this where you see everybody, where you have like a video meeting, but then it also has a more traditional presentation type style. We can do breakout rooms. We can do all sorts of fun things with that. So
Cool.
there's all kinds of things out there too.
Yeah. One of the ones that surprised me that I didn't realize was I didn't realize that WhatsApp has an audio feature.
Okay.
So
I've heard of that. I have never
uh,
used it.
you can actually make a phone call on WhatsApp.
Cool.
Who knew? So
Yeah. So
that's
that's more of a texting thing usually, right? Like, is there any visual, like seeing each other component? Because that's what I find for me is really core. Like, I hate just picking up the phone and audio calling somebody.
well. Let's just pick up the phone and find out, will we? Because that's how we used to contact with my family in Hong Kong.
Okay.
And chats. Oh, look at that. Chats, camera, call. So
There you go.
I'm wondering. Okay, so somebody online is going to answer this question for us. So folks, if anybody uses
Okay.
WhatsApp and has done like a FaceTime with somebody through WhatsApp, I'm going to get you to put it in the comments below. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
And you mentioned FaceTime. FaceTime's another one, right?
FaceTime's another one. Yeah, some pretty simple ones that are readily available to most of us. That's fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that's great, Tamsen. I'm wondering if we can just do a really quick recap for everybody.
Sure.
So tip number 1, know yourself and what you need to be successful. And in your case, you mentioned the need for social contact.
Mm-hmm. And even if you feel like you don't need nearly as much as I do, you probably need some. So don't let yourself be totally isolated, even if you identify as a huge introvert, because it'll bite you later.
Okay. Number two, accept uncertainty. Don't be afraid to be flexible and to be responsible. And then number three, let technology be your friend. Use it to help with the connectivity, whether it's social or professional, obviously.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much. That's fantastic. Now, listen, if there are any change makers in our viewers that would like to reach out to you and contact you about increasing the engagement in their community, how would they reach you?
The best website for me right now is tamsenconnects.ca. So my name, TAMSEN, Connects, that's the name of my company, .ca. So I'd love to hear from anybody who is struggling with making a change, realizes that through community is the way to go. But usually I like people who've already taken action. I like people who already have a community, but they're struggling. They don't quite, things just aren't quite going like they thought it would. And I can usually help with that. It's often an emotional thing.
Fantastic. Tamsen, thank you very much. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, your experience, and your wisdom with us. And to our viewers, thank you very much once again for joining us today. I hope this is helpful to you. And if you like this content, I encourage you to hang out and we'll provide some more. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Tamsen.
Bye. You're welcome. Thank you.